Rated M for Movies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rated M for Movies podcast. My name is Matt. Today I got my review for you for Independence Day Resurgence. It stars Jeff Goldblum, Liam Hemsworth, and Bill Pullman. So let's get right into it. So the new Independence Day takes place 20 years after the first film, and it shows this alien threat from the first film. They return to Earth. They're very high-tech now. Earth has evolved a lot too, and they have a lot better technology. And it's a pretty similar plot. They have a lot of different plot elements that they put into this film. I don't want to spoil it too much, so let's just keep it at that. First of all, what I loved about this film, it looks fantastic. The visuals are amazing. The CGI looks really great, especially the aliens in this film. In the first film, a lot of the aliens were all practical effects, actually. This one, primarily all CGI. And I thought they looked great. There's a lot more of them in this film, too. You can really get the sense that there's this big force invading Earth. The scale of the giant alien ship in this movie looks huge. It looks awesome. All the destruction looks great. I love the visuals. I loved all the CGI. I thought it looked great. And I thought Jeff Goldblum was pretty good in the movie too. I liked his performance. He's generally a good actor. He hasn't really done a lot of things in a while, but I liked his character probably as much as I did in the first film. I thought he was great in the movie. And I also like Liam Hemsworth's character. He was a new character in this film. He works on the moon now. They have like a moon base. He's like this hero figure, and he's a really likable character. I like some of the choices he made in the movie and everything. I thought he was a really great character that they added in. Unfortunately, a lot of the new characters, pretty much almost all of the new characters, are really boring. They're really unlikable, and all the performances were weak too. You may remember Will Smith's character from the first movie, how he had a son. Well, in this movie, his son's all grown up, and he's just pilot, and I really didn't like his character at all. I thought he was very unlikable. He conflicted a lot with other characters, and I just thought he was very boring and very flat as a character, and the actor who portrayed him wasn't very good either. I thought his performance was very poor. There's also a new character, pretty similar to that of Will Smith's character's son. It's the president's daughter from the first film. You remember her? She was a little girl. This time she's all grown up again also. And I thought she was also kind of like, she was kind of whiny, I thought, in this movie. I didn't really care for her that much. She kind of got in the way with some of the decisions the more likable characters were trying to make. And I really didn't like her. I thought her performance was pretty average at best, to be honest. A lot of the new characters, guys, very boring, very weak performances. And even some of the older characters, they had a lot of wasted potential, I thought. Especially with Bill Pullman's character as a former president. This time around, in the first movie, he was very patriotic. He was pretty much a badass. I mean, he was the president of the United States who flew this freaking jet and killed aliens. He was awesome in the first movie. This movie, especially for the first, I'd say 2/3 of it, he's just this old guy who pretty much sits around and then is kind of crazy about all these aliens, And it sucks to see his character reduced to that because he was such a great character in the first movie. And to see him kind of brought down to this level, it sucks. And I was really disappointed where they took his character in this movie, as well as a lot of the directions taken with some of the characters. I'm not going to spoil anything, but some of the decisions that the director made and the producers made was very questionable, I thought. I really didn't like some of the directions they could have taken. I can't really talk about that much because it would spoil the whole movie, but especially since at the ending, except for a sequel, it just didn't really make sense for a lot of people. And I get the actors get old and stuff like that, and they want to retire, but you come back for this one, you might as well go for another one. Am I right? I was very disappointed with some of the directions they took for some of these characters. Also, the first one was a very fun, very straightforward film. It was action heavy, aliens versus humans, and that was it. It was just very simple, very fun. This film takes itself very seriously. There's a lot more plot elements that they added in. It lost a lot of its fun factor along the way, I felt like. The first one was pretty cheesy too, but it was still a lot of fun. And this movie takes itself so seriously. It lost a lot of the fun that the first movie had. There's a couple of characters there for comic relief, but none of them really work as well as, say, Will Smith's character in the first movie did, or Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum in the first movie together. I thought they were great in the first movie, but this film didn't have really any of that. None of the characters clicked like they did, and that was very disappointing too, guys. It lost a lot of its fun factor that way. The film was great looking, and it was entertaining when a lot of the action and the war scenes between humans versus aliens was happening, but this film, guys, it feels like a wasted potential for me. A lot of the new characters are very boring, and there's such a lack of fun in this film, I thought. I was a bit disappointed. It wasn't a complete train wreck or anything like that, but I'm still gonna say wait for it on Redbox or just rent it when it comes out on Blu-ray. I don't think it's worth seeing in theaters. It's worth seeing in comfort of your own home if you just want to relax and pop in the new Independence Day because you're curious of what happens. Even if you're thinking about not seeing it, guys, I wouldn't even bother. I would just stick with the first film and pretend this one never happened, to be honest, because you'll probably hate some of the choices they make with some of the characters. So that's just my thought on it, guys. Stay tuned for my next review. It's going to be for the Free State of Jones, and it's going to be up on Sunday. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you later.
Rated M for movies.